Well, it looks like Arsenal is preparing for a post-era of Caicedo failure or for a post-Caicedo failure transfer from Brighton to London Colney because they've gone ahead and lined up close to three alternatives of players that they really want to sign if at all Caicedo doesn't come to happening. Welcome to Rokani Media Football. How are you guys and where you're watching us from? Smash the like button, comment and share. If at all you're watching us for the very first time, endeavor to subscribe to this channel so as not to miss out on stories that we do upload in here on a daily. Now, one of those is Jorginho, Tielemans, and Zubimendi. Three players lined up by Arsenal trying to come in and not fail to really get in a central defensive midfielder towards the end of the January transfer window. Now, today is really a very good day. That doesn't mean that Arsenal is out of the Caicedo deal. They are still 100% in and they're preparing a third undeniable bid. Like a tweet a story I first brought here on this channel in the morning because it looks like everything is going on rosy for Arsenal, but they just want to put out their third undeniable bid on the table to see to it that whether it's let down by Brighton or not. But it said if it's £80 million, Brighton are willing to take it because they are also looking in for alternatives to see to it that they sign them tomorrow before the deadline day. So, as things stand, it is really looking worrying to Arsenal fans, but when you look at the alternatives they've laid, it shows you that the wise see ahead, and Edu and Mikel Arteta have already kept tabs onto these players, and they might really go in for them towards the end of the transfer window that is going to be happening tomorrow. That is tomorrow night. Not so? All right. Now, let's get into the first story that has broken internet just like 30 minutes back. It has been confirmed to us by Fabrizio Romano that Arsenal have approached Chelsea for midfielder Jorginho. It's an option should they fail to complete a move for Brighton's Moise Caicedo. Chelsea are open to selling Jorginho, who has 6 months left on his contract but will ask for an important fee. So, it shows you how Arsenal are really great in making these signings because they had Jorginho onto their transfer list. Caicedo was the number one priority to get as a CDM. Now, when the deal of Caicedo looks like Brighton looks like adamant, they won't really take in the money that Arsenal are really wanting and they want to hold them ransom, and Arsenal won't accept that because they also have to bring in Declan Rice later in the summer. They've decided to go in for another Premier League highly rated central defensive midfielder in names of Jorginho. Jorginho, apart from this season only, has been really on and off, but the previous season has been playing for Chelsea. He has been really decent. He has been one of the best CDMs in the Premier League. Best pass of the ball, blocks, linking the midfield to the attack. He is really a good pass of the ball and he has really done a lot of work for Chelsea. And in his later years of 30s, he's really trying to go ahead and really make an epitome of that midfield in the Premier League. But Chelsea looks like they no longer need his services. That's why they've gone in for Enzo Fernandez to come into the club. Why does he want to leave even though he's left with 6 months on his contract? The situation is simple, that even when before Enzo Fernandez arrives at Chelsea, he has not been starting. The manager has been preferring Denis Zakaria and Kovacic to play in the double pivot. The only reason he came in through to play in the midfield was simple, that Zakaria got an injury. That means if Enzo Fernandez comes in through, he is not going to be getting enough playing time, something that Jorginho doesn't fancy at all. So he believes the best thing to do is to leave a side known as Chelsea to go to Arsenal, because Arsenal is willing to welcome him because they are having lots of positions for him to play, because Thomas Partey is really one of those that is really injured, but though he's optimistic to return for Everton, but you never know when he's going to get injured. So Arsenal have looked at the situation and understood that maybe it might really stop them from not getting the Premier League and do the needful and even miss out onto the UEFA Europa League, because Arsenal is now left in 2 tournaments. They are knocked out of the Carabao Cup by Brighton, and on Friday last week they are knocked out of the FA Cup by Man City. Now, when you look at Jorginho, he would love to join Arsenal because Arsenal into the title contention, and his addition to that Arsenal side is really great. Remember, I think he has ever won a Premier League, not so, and he won what we call a Champions League with Chelsea. So he shows you that he is having a winning mentality. And at the epitome of all that, or at the pinnacle of all that, he won the Euros of 2020. So it shows you that this guy is a winner. He's a winner and he's bringing a winning mentality to Arsenal. So that's why Mikel Arteta, I think, has identified him as a player to come in as an alternative for Caicedo, to see to it that he comes at the club, because he comes in with experience and obviously belief that Arsenal can lift the trophy. And that's how Arsenal are really trying to really strengthen their squad ahead of the remaining games that can lead them to the triumphing of the Premier League title of a season 2022-2023. Now, it's not only Fabrizio Romano, but even David Austin has confirmed to us that Arsenal are among the clubs exploring a possible move for Chelsea midfielder Jorginho before the deadline. There are other names thought to be in the mix, but with the deadline just over 24 hours, Arsenal are aware time and options are really running out. So, Arsenal are really targeting players in the Premier League for now. You get? That's why they are fronting them fast, and they are not really trying to come out and really go for players outside the Premier League. Though in this list there is someone else out of the Premier League, but it shows you that he is a third or fourth option for Arsenal, not amongst the first three options. The first three options are all Premier League options, meaning that they know to it that it won't be hard for that player to get a work permit, and obviously registering him and the FA won't be something hard. But the most important thing for this deal of Jorginho is simple. If Chelsea don't want to sell him now, they are losing him out on a free in the summer. That is something that Chelsea wouldn't like to see happen into their season, because you can't lose out a player like Jorginho on a free. At least you can get like £10 million from him for these remaining 6 months, because you're not going to be using him first and foremost. So why do you come in and not go out for him? You get? Why do you come in and not go out for him and sell him? Because Arsenal is here. And for your own information, Chelsea fans outside there who are simply saying that, how do we sell our rival, a player known as Jorginho? Trust me, the moment the manager is not playing Jorginho, you get, that is a confirmation that he doesn't see him as a member worth starting in his 11, meaning that he's surplus to requirement. Him being surplus to requirement is going to be confirmed when Enzo Fernandez comes in through, because if I told Jorginho was doing his work very well, there would have been no reason for Chelsea to go in and sign Enzo Fernandez for 120 million euros. No way. If at all a team goes out to spend that amount of money, that means the player playing that position is not doing his work well. So they've gone in for another player who can do that job well, to see to it that really puts his club in a better position. So Jorginho, I think, will also be interested to joining Arsenal, because they need him, and Arsenal really needs that vast experience that he holds in their midfield. So I believe that deal of Jorginho is really one of those that is really going to be so much on with effect from now up to the closure of the window. Now, from Jorginho, all of us thought that maybe Arsenal are out of the deal of Tielemans, but 90-minute football has come out and really confirmed to us that Arsenal are considering a late bid to test Leicester City's resolve to keep hold of Jorginho Tielemans. Sources have told 90-minute as their efforts to land Brighton's Moise Caicedo look set to come to nothing. That's it. So that is Grammy Bailey. He's a transfer correspondent of 90-minute football. That is the guy. Now, talking about Jorginho Tielemans, when everything is really messy, Arsenal have decided to go all out and go back to Jorginho Tielemans, and maybe Jorginho and Tielemans might be the two players they're really looking at. But the big question is Tielemans really ready to join Arsenal? Arsenal having gone ahead to splash out money to Mudryk, the deal failed. To Caicedo, looks like the deal is failing. And now they are going back for him. I don't think he believes Arsenal have treated him fairly. Why? In the summer of 2021, Arsenal made a bid of £45 million. Leicester wanted 65. Arsenal never returned. They returned in the summer of 2022. They made a bid of £25 million. Leicester wanted 45. Arsenal never returned. Now, does that show how much Arsenal love the player? I think for all that happened, it even gave Tielemans the thought that I'm not leaving in January. I want to be a free agent. such that I get the best team for myself. I think being a best agent best works for the player and the agent. Do you know why? If he happens to sign for Arsenal in the summer as a free agent, they'll get him a sign-on fee of close to 15 million pounds, between 10 and 15 million pounds, and they'll give him a salary of close to 250,000 pounds. You get? It will work well for the player and the agent, meaning that the agent can take like 3-4 million pounds, and Tielemans will walk away like with 6 or 7 million pounds. Something that wouldn't have got when he's being sold directly from Leicester to Arsenal. But right now, as Arsenal really eyeing to bring him on, does the player really want to come on and play for Arsenal? Because it looks like Arsenal have just remembered him, and they had even opted for Caicedo, and they are willing to pay 70 million pounds, the second bid that was really let down. I think it never walked down well in the brain of Tielemans. So Tielemans feels like, I'm not really wanting to go to Arsenal. So if Arsenal really go in for him, they need to go out and really convince him a lot, because this player looks like he wants not to leave Leicester until when the summer is done, until in the summer, and then he'll be a free agent. Then Grammy Bailey has continued to let us know that Yuri Tielemans would be open to a move late in the window, but 90 Minutes has been told that if Leicester were not in a relegation battle, they may consider allowing him to leave. However, sources insist it would take a huge bid to even consider parting ways. So I've even read a story of Fabrizio Romano talking about Tielemans to Manchester United, that it will take a huge money for them to really leave. I think, talking of huge money, it's concerning the period or the contract duration of Yuri Tielemans at Leicester. I think that's it, because if Leicester comes in and asks for 25 million pounds, that is an absolute steal for a player who is just left with 5 months to run down his contract. That means if you are patient enough, you can get him down in the summer on a free. So that's what they're talking about. So let's wait and see how Tielemans to Arsenal pans out, whether they're really going to go ahead and really sign him. But it looks like the order is Caicedo, Jorginho, and Yuri Tielemans. Now, there is another player that Arsenal have been really keeping tabs on, one of the best players that is rated in the La Liga, playing for Real Sociedad. I talked about him here, I think, like 2-3 days ago. He's known as Martin Zubimendi. CDM, I saw him yesterday play for Real Madrid as he controlled that midfield and won the midfield battle over Tchouaméni, Toni Kroos, Camavinga, and Luka Modric. So he played very well and is one of those players that Madrid is looking at, Barcelona is looking at, and we've been told by Arsenal, Football London, and Kaya Kanak was the person behind this story. He has confirmed to us that Real Sociedad are adamant Martin Zubimendi will stay this window. The Spanish midfielder was linked with Arsenal earlier this window. Ghana still hopeful of Moise Caicedo deal if Brighton can bring in a replacement. More to follow soon. So that is Kaya Kanak reporting a story of Zubimendi to a side known as Arsenal. So Arsenal would have loved to bring in Zubimendi, I think like 2, 4, 5 days or a week back. But Sociedad said they don't want to sell the player, and if they are to sell him, that move will be made valid in the summer, not now. So Arsenal walked away, and you never know, in the dying hours, they might go out and really tell them, please, we'll have 60 million euros. Can you get us Zubimendi? Because a first story came out and really indicated that Arsenal had gone ahead to put in a bid of 60 million euros, but it was turned down by the player because the player said, I'm not leaving. Then later we are told that that's a lie. Arsenal never made a bid for Zubimendi. So it looks like if Arsenal make a bid for Zubimendi, they can get him in the pursuit of the Thomas Partey backup. So that is it concerning a man called Zubimendi. So that has brought us to 4 players that Arsenal are really looking at as Thomas Partey backups. Moise Caicedo topping the list. Second is Jorginho. Third is Yuri Tielemans. Fourth is Zubimendi. That's it. So if at all they can land Caicedo, they won't go in for these. But if at all they can't land for Caicedo, they'll go for Jorginho, Tielemans, or Zubimendi. So let's wait and see how Arsenal is really going to go ahead and really be on their tenterhooks and the toes of really signing in these players. Now, the other player that Arsenal was really targeting from Juventus, known as Weston McCann, has finally been officially unveiled as a player of Leeds, and official confirmed Weston McCann joined Leeds United on loan deal from Juventus for 1.2 million euros plus a 33 million euro buy clause and add-ons. Leeds FC contract signed, deal completed. So this was one of the players that Arsenal were really targeting, and his agent was in London like 2, 3, 4 days back to talk to Arsenal. But it looks like when Caicedo switched his agent to the one of Fresneda, and Arsenal had been talking to him very, very well, that really brought Arsenal into a picture that, oh, we can get Caicedo, let's go for him, because it's always to go in for the best player when you are in contention of the title. You get? Mckennie is a very good player, but if at all you are told, driving a Nissan and driving a Lamborghini, what do you go for? I think everyone will go for Lamborghini. So I think Caicedo is a Lamborghini and McCann is a Nissan car that is really cheap. Good, it can get the job done, but there is a car that really gets the job done better and cleanly and obviously at a world-class level, because Caicedo right now is top class. What he's left with to turn into world-class is simple. Joining a huge team or a big team and doing those things on a regular basis. But McCann really has a long way to go. I believe him coming to Leeds is going to expose him to very many other teams that could go in and really gate him, because United had gone in for him in the summer. Ten Hag was really trying to get a CDM in, and he was desperate to get him in, not until he got Casemiro. That shows you how good the player is, because if at all a player is being monitored by Manchester United and Arteta, that is Erik Ten Hag and Mikel Arteta, it shows you how good on the ball his quality is. So that is it for Arsenal. They are in for 3 players. And lastly, something I'd forgotten about Zubimendi. Zubimendi shares the same agent with Mikel Arteta. So you never know what can happen in the next 1 or 2 hours. So your thoughts on to Jorginho to Arsenal. Arsenal are in for Jorginho. Tielemans lined up also as Caicedo alternatives. Who would you prefer if at all Arsenal's pursuit for Caicedo fails through? Who would you prefer to come in and really do the needful and act as an alternative for Moise Caicedo here onto the Rokani Media Football? So thank you very much for watching. Through smash the like button, comment and share. Your reactions are welcome. Don't forget to subscribe to this channel. And how do you subscribe? Lower right bottom corner, that's the place to be. Smash the black button that has the word subscribe. After smashing it, hit the notification bell that will enable you get notified every time I upload a video onto this channel. So I sign out for now. See you later. May the Almighty Lord bless you abundantly. Third video of the day, more 2 left to go. I'm still Rokani David. May the Almighty Lord protect you abundantly and I cover you all in the precious blood of Jesus Christ. Bye-bye for now.